Hi, I'm Brandon. I love Hallmark fall movies.
Hey, I'm Brian. I like Hallmark fall movies.
Hey, I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark fall movies, and this is the
Take the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brandon and friends host his podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Wow, wow, wow.
Oh,
hello,
boy.
everybody. Happy September to you. Mid-September.
Yeah, thank you. I've been waiting for
You're
weeks.
really
Brad.
late.
I've been waiting for weeks for that.
September
Hold on.
17th, and he finally wishes us a happy September.
I
you
went
and I
back-
said
A little
it on
late this
September
year.
1st. Yeah,
A little late
we
this
walked
year.
in. We said
Yeah.
happy September.
I know.
Happy September. You said nothing.
I went back over the
Silence.
weekend and I listened to all of our September episodes and I realized I didn't say it.
Yep.
I
Not
didn't
once.
say it, and that's on me. And you know,
It sure
I pride myself
Yeah.
on making sure everybody knows that I wish them a happy month.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it
Didn't
this
do it.
month, and I had to get ahead of it. I didn't
Gotta
want
be honest. I don't think you ever have done it.
Back to zero.
And
Well-
we do it every time. And you say you pride yourself, and that's
Yeah.
weird.
I pride myself on thinking that I
Thinking
did.
about it. It is the thought that counts.
That's what I've heard. I've heard that it's the thought that
Just
counts.
think about
it. Pretty big week this week. It could be.
Pretty
I don't know.
big, Pretty big.
I gotta say, if
I
the
don't know.
Christmas schedule doesn't come out this week, then I'm at a loss.
It's just
I
never
feel-
coming
Yeah.
out.
One, we'll all just so far.
Put
so
our,
many
all
of
of
us
our
are.
leaves in that autumn basket.
You think
know
they
what I
packed
mean?
it up? Maybe they just
Maybe
wouldn't
they
do
packed it up. Maybe they're not doing it. But I'm excited. I
Boy,
feel
that'd be something.
you got to feel good about it. This weekend will be like
We're not doing it. Hallmark just announced, hey, we're not doing it.
Take
Well,
a
we're
year off.
shut it all
Use
down.
our
decided-
skip.
I know we
shut it all down.
we're using our skip.
Deuces.
I know that. I
You're
know
on
we
your
just
own.
launched a streaming service, but
Right.
Where
Hallmark Channel just a picture of two fingers. Just deuce.
Got too much going on.
Just right there. There's
they
nothing we
should
can
do that one day. It's just say we're not doing it, and then be like
Not
April
today.
Fools.
We're not doing it.
We're not doing it. We decided we're not doing
Christmas is
it.
canceled.
I will say the one
CCB wakes up. I knew it.
That was right.
I don't know for sure.
Calls
Schedule's
Kirk
coming out this
immediately.
week. You got to feel good about it. What I do know, though, and this, I don't know if this has been widely announced, but Dan, you and I, we were talking about the Groomsmen trilogy.
Yeah.
As you and I do on
We
a regular
do.
basis when they're going to come out.
Day to day, we
After
talk about
Dan
that.
wishes you a happy month,
Yes.
you guys talk about the
Yeah,
Christmas.
like you heard any news on the TGT, which is what we
And-
call it, the Groomsmen trilogy?
I was like, Dan was like, I think it's coming out soon. I was like, I didn't think it was coming out.
Too good.
I was like, I didn't think.
Tough landing.
Bless you.
I didn't think that the Grooms was coming out until January, and Dan was like, I think it's coming out in the fall. So I did a little research on my end, and I was like, yeah, it's supposed to be coming out this fall, but we don't have a date. That is, unless you go to the Groomsmen
That isn't unless
Title.
they do have a date.
title on Hallmark Plus.
Get an invitation?
It says premiering October 17th,
Wow.
Is
which
that fun or what?
doesn't bode well for us.
If
'cause
it's October 17th, we are right here at Bramble Jam.
That's a
Podcast Studios.
Thursday,
We
so-
are screwed.
Yeah.
we're scrambling.
We are trying to cover everything, and
What,
that
are we
is-
doing that? We're doing that. We're supposed to.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
It's a Tyler Hines, Jonathan Bennett movie aired on Hallmark Plus.
on Thursday.
Yeah, before the marathon.
What we
Are we starting the marathon a day early?
Don't
you
stop
imagine?
it.
Oh boy!
Teasing
so
at
that's
a terrible
fun.
time.
So that's fun. We'll see. I don't know. I don't
We
know if
gotta
that
figure that
information is
out.
confirmed. Like it hasn't been like this is when it's happening. There hasn't been like a big press release or whatever. But I just happened to go on to I was
Yeah.
looking for the trailer and it brought me to the Hallmark Movies Now website.
With the
I'm
date.
sorry,
You're
Hallmark
doing
Plus.
your
Hallmark Plus
research?
website.
As you do.
And it said it right there. And
Maybe
then.
we could squeeze it in Saturday afternoon during the marathon weekend.
Watch all three of them.
I don't know if they're all dry. My guess would be that it's one.
I imagine
one
if
at a
they
time.
watch all three, if they drop all three,
We could do it. We could do it Thursday. We could if we needed to. So
we could.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
in a couple weeks.
We're just excited. We're just excited. I'm getting
I know,
real
yeah,
excited.
getting real
I'm
giddy
getting
like-
really-
Marathon
I'm getting
time,
really excited.
baby.
This marathon is going to be so much fun,
Yeah, it
and we can't wait for you to join us virtually for it. It's going to be the best. I think it's going to be the best one yet.
Best one yet.
Best
one yet.
Yep.
And
I agree.
we only have about one more month of season 6 before season 7
That's
starts.
right. That's how we're doing that. I forgot.
I don't know. It
Yeah,
just
no,
kinda
that's right.
is
Season
what it
7
is.
kicks
Unless
off.
you shut it down.
That's right.
Unless you use your
Kicks
skill.
off.
Maybe we shut it down. Maybe you go to file.tv/DTH. You see two fingers.
Two fingers. No, you won't
Deuces.
find that, but you will find a bunch of great content on Philo, including
Yes.
our show and so many other things. Not just the ones the movies we're covering, but they've got so much great stuff.
So much.
And that's why we do the Philo Deep Dive, Dan, you and I. You can find that on Philo. Now's the time, though. Get ahead of it. Yeah. Get ahead of it. Start getting comfortable with it, because then come the holiday season, you'll be ready to go.
Be ready to go.
Ready to go. Just like I'm ready to go today.
Nailed it.
Happy September, Brand.
Thank you, Brian.
Happy September.
Hey, Aaron,
17th.
happy September.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
We're less than 2 weeks away from October, and you have the gall to wish us a happy September.
I think there's...
Fran, do you know what else today is?
What?
99 days to
99.
Christmas.
We're in double digits, which is very exciting.
Honk, honk.
Guys, I walked in here.
Christmas joke.
I walked in here yesterday.
joke?
Guys, I walked in here.
Christmas party. Oh, here's one of those. Wow, honk, honk.
I walked in here yesterday, and
today, Dan.
and I said, Dan, happy 100 days till Christmas. And he looked at me. He said, I'd rather kill myself.
No, I did not say that. I said,
And I said
time
something
really flies by when you don't care.
Said you good.
And then I said, if that's how I track Christmas, then I don't know why I would be living.
Yes.
I said those two
said a
things.
lot.
Summarize with I'd rather kill myself. Then have a countdown to Christmas. That's
No,
what
then
he
to
said.
mark my whole year by it's
Not marking my whole
it's
year.
a third of the way till Christmas. It's a 2/3 of the way to Christmas. What are we doing?
It's getting pretty
We're
close.
having
Honk,
a good
honk.
time. We're having a good time is what we're having.
We're still in summer right now. It is
That is
summer.
Barely.
Look around. We're 100% not
you
in
can,
summer.
you can
in
dress
New
it up
England.
however you want. We're in summer right now. I don't
just
like
think-
it any more than you do. I want it to be done. It's summer.
Who's the crazy one? Is it the person who,
Okay.
even though everybody has fallen into love with fall, still says it's summer just because the calendar says it is? Who's the crazy one? Is it the people? Is it everybody that says, give me the PSL and pour it down my mouth, please? Or is it the guy who's like, the calendars? Who cares?
I think I'll let what Brain just said speak as my argument.
Fair enough. Fair
I
enough.
think that does it. That
Fair
says
enough
it for me. I'm good.
It's not summer anymore. And you
He
know
calls
it.
me a nerd for using a calendar and then says I'm wrong.
That's exactly
Great.
right.
Cool.
We're talking Heiress. I never called you a
Happy
nerd.
September to you. Happy September to you.
Happy September to you.
If you're watching on Philo, you push your glasses right up and did a whole thing.
That's just because you wear
So
glasses.
what were you implying? That I'm not a nerd by pushing my glasses up?
No. It had nothing to do with nerds.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the point of the glasses then? I don't wear glasses. So
Yeah,
what was the
I
point
sometimes do, and it was just like
of it? You wear glasses? I've never seen you wear glasses. So try again.
occasionally.
Try again.
No, occasionally.
No.
Occasionally.
No, you
They're
were
not
pushing up your
prescription.
occasional glasses.
They're occasional.
This
you
seems
know,
like a lot.
No, you know how some people,
You know, there's a guy in
this.
between us
You know this, Brian.
who wears glasses.
Brian,
Our producer wears glasses
guys,
from time to time.
you all can back me
Here
up
we
on
go.
this.
Here we go.
Sometimes,
Beep, you're back.
sometimes even
The truck's back.
what do
67
you
days
think
without
I'm
incident.
backing up
Yourself.
for to do what?
Because you did the glasses thing and now you're trying to undo
Yeah,
it.
I'm just saying. I didn't say anything
Yeah,
about
no,
nerd.
of course
I didn't
not.
say it.
No.
You know how sometimes when you're not wearing your glasses, but you it's the
just a
phantom
reaction,
push-up. It's
sure.
the phantom push-up. That's
Phantom
all that
push-up,
was.
honk, honk.
Us glasses
That's how you
wearers,
get big pecs, too.
we get it. Us glasses wearers get it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm saying it's a tale's old it's time. The Heiress
In
and the
September, yeah.
yeah, happy September, everybody. The Heiress and the Handyman originally premiered on the Hallmark channel on September 14th, 2024.
He almost said
I
honk.
think it.
He almost honked.
I think
I
it,
believe for this movie it's Heiress and Onk Onk.
I think it originally
Honk,
like
honk.
was on Hallmark Movies Now
It
or
was for a
something.
while,
but,
yeah.
It's on Hallmark movies now.
September 14th, 2024, and it went a little something like this. June is in Brian's favorite place.
Summer.
She's in Malta,
Oh, okay.
and she is rich, filthy rich.
Yeah, I
in
thought she was
fact.
Greece, yeah, definitely.
Oh, is it Greece?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Which I couldn't
Whatever.
care less about.
No, you don't
so.
care about Greece.
Popeye was never even there.
So she's so. Then why'd you say Popeyes when we were
When I
watching it?
saw it, I was like, oh.
I just
this
took
is-
your. I know
you just
so
took
little
my word
about
on it.
geography. I'm like, must be.
As soon as it started, I went, if this is Malta, we're never going to hear the end of it from Brian. And then she says
That's all I
Greece.
needed.
Yeah, that's
that
all
was
you
all
needed.
I needed.
Tuned right out.
I knew exactly. Listen, I don't know much about anything, but I know about
Dan
your
says,
fascination.
If this is Malta.
I know Brian's fascinated with Malta, and that's all I needed. She's so rich that a waiter brings her a landline phone on a platter. On the phone is Michael, her financial advisor guy, and has bad news. She's lost it all. No more money. There was a crypto crash. We've all been there. Apparently, all of her finances were in crypto.
To the moon.
And I've been there. I've been there. She's no
still
longer. She's no longer worth a fortune, but and she doesn't know what she's gonna do. All that she has left is this awesome slide phone that I guess she's given. Her dad's car, little town car, as they call it, and a random key left by her Aunt Birdie. She gets right to work, literally. She's a barista for a day, gets fired. She cuts hair for a day, but then she cuts someone's hair like right off, and she just leaves. She's like, I'm not even gonna wait to get fired for this one. And nothing's going well for her. She even is sleeping in her car. She realizes, though, that the key that Birdie left goes to a safety deposit box, and inside the box is the deed to a house in Greenville. Yeah, that Greenville? I don't know. I don't think so. They don't say it, but I'm gonna hope that it is, for the sake of Greenville, South Carolina. She immediately bumps into Bart, who she assumes is the help, but is actually just the neighbor. He's been taking care of the house while her Birdie's estate was sorted. The initial interaction is rocky, to say the least, but they start hanging out, as they do, and she opens up about how she didn't really have much of a relationship with her parents, but she always loved when she would get to hang out with her Aunt Birdie, even though she never came to visit Aunt Birdie. It's neither here nor there, though. When she finds out that Birdie won the pie contest every year, she decides that she wants to enter the pie contest to continue Birdie's legacy and tell old grumpy old Dottie over there that she can kick rocks. It's not great. She tries to make the pie. It's not great, but she's going to keep trying. She finds out that there's a backside of the recipe card. You always got to check the backside
of the recipe card.
do.
Just like she's trying to do with the pie, she's going to try to keep doing all the great things that Birdie did, such as raising a good hog. Sometimes you got to. One thing Birdie didn't do, though, is fall in love with Bart. As far as we know, we don't get that story, but I don't think Birdie was in love with Bart. But she clearly is. She's fallen in love with Bart. She's baking pies. She's working with the animals. She's all about that farm life. And it's time for the big fair, and she basically crushes. She
First try, yeah.
She makes the
It's
pie.
unbelievable, yeah.
She wins the pie contest.
blood.
She wins best pig. She doesn't win best pig. Her pig wins best
some
pig.
pig.
Jillian, yeah.
And it's a great day for her. And the day keeps getting
And the
better.
pig.
She gets a call from a tractor company that wants to sponsor her pig.
Sheesh.
Yep.
There really is some pig.
That is some pig. But then she also gets a call from the financial guy, and he informs her that she's rich again. Yay! So she goes to celebrate with Bart by taking him to a private piano show and tells him that she's now filthy rich and is gonna get back on that PJ life. That's private jet.
Private jets.
For all you poors out there. She asks him if he wants to leave and travel the world with her. He's like, I don't want to travel
Gotta
the
get
world.
back to Greenville.
I want to stay in Greenville. And you know what? He's 100% right. I don't want to see the world. I want to stay right here in that Greenville. She goes to leave, but she decides that she doesn't want to leave. And it's a good thing she didn't leave, though, because they're throwing a surprise party for her. She kind of stumbles her way into. She does tell Bart that she's sticking around, and they both say that they love each other, and they kiss. And I guess Bart is just like, he didn't lose. And that, my friends, was the Heiress and the Handyman.
We did it.
I mean, it's some pig.
It is.
is
It
some
is.
pig.
Whoa.
It's
beautiful. It's
Above and
beautiful.
beyond.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll talk about this movie in full, in totality.
In full. Wow.
Here on Deck the
Deck the
Hallmark. What's up, nerds? See, that time, was egregious.
Yeah.
I would even say that.
You
That
were,
was a
yeah,
little,
that's right.
little heavy-handed. It's great to be back here today in September on a Tuesday talking
fall.
Heiress
In the
and
fall.
the Handyman in the fall. And
Almost Christmas season.
I mean, it couldn't be closer than
Well,
it is today.
then
Couldn't be
today could not be
Do you know how
closer,
close
yeah.
it is? There's a full season we've not experienced yet before Christmas.
We're experiencing it.
If we're not in the season before the season, then we're not near it.
Again, if you use the calendar, I understand
Yeah,
where
Those
you're
have been
right.
around for so long.
So long.
So it's
Yeah.
like
They need a refresh.
Yeah.
It needs to be
They even
100%
use full
September
anymore.
1 through January 1 Christmas.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. That is my point.
Will you
100%.
stop celebrating it before then if we did that?
Would
'Cause
I
I'll
stop?
Will you just be like, Christmas is now, this is the season?
I have to say offensive because I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job.
You are doing a great job. But if we had an established guideline of when it was, then we'd be all set, right?
I don't think so. I think that's
okay. Yeah, there we go. Now we're talking.
I would do my best as I am now. You know, I close the door when I record Christmas morning. You know, like I have boundaries. I respect your wishes.
You mean you close the door in the North Pole, right?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah, I go all the way there. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a little thing we can hear it.
Yeah, I know.
You leave the
That's
portal
me. I
open.
forget
Yeah.
that. It's time to
Portal's
break.
cracked.
It's time to break down the Heiress and the Handyman.
And Larry, he just echoes anyway. So does Gary. They both do.
Larry and Gary. Let's break this movie down. We're going to start with the hot take. It is where we share exactly how we felt about this movie. We do not hold back. Brian, I will start with you. What'd you think of both the Heiress and her Handyman?
I'm going to just step in here and say Brian loved it. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, I did cream this movie. I forget what my rating was. I did cream it.
I mean, it is a Jodie Sweetin movie.
Yeah, I do have that sweet tooth after all. So
that's better than Tea Time.
Yeah,
that's really good
too. It's got a sweet tooth.
So I all in all, not bad. Not
There it
bad.
is. He went 4 PSL and a cream because he's on drugs.
Oh, a little strong. I mean, it's Jodie Sweetin. Like high expectations. Maybe I shouldn't have creamed it. I did. I can't take that back. We all know once it's out of the tube. We were in Greenville. We baked pies. There actually was fall in this movie.
Yeah. That's going to be Brand's defense. I guarantee you that right now.
Finally.
Yeah.
It was pretty. It wasn't super natural fall, like very staged. So props to the props department for.
That's why they call it the props department.
But we got fall finally, and so it's hard to take that out of this movie because it was really embedded. We were doing a fair. We were in Greenville.
This is earlier than last year because we went like 3 movies deep before we got a
Fall's
a
always
dose
a
of
weird
fall.
one.
So,
it's always a tricky one for him.
we only
Really
had to
glad.
wait. We only had to deal with one so far.
Yeah.
So
right, but
you know who knows what next week holds.
right,
but
yeah, we might take a step back. I
This
don't know.
did
though.
have
I don't know.
have fall.
So, I wanted more time in the kitchen. We got a good amount, but I'm like, let's just stay in that kitchen. Let's keep baking these pies. Let's roll out that dough.
You got to see her. You get to see her bake 2 pies in this
know.
movie, Brian.
I don't know
What
how
more
much
do you
more
need?
time in the
Just a little
kitchen
bit more
we
time.
could.
You just want
That's
to watch
all.
the Food Network.
I just,
Yes.
just hang out in the kitchen, just like
He's got a
just
sweet tooth, Brand.
Yeah, I got that Jodie Sweetin tooth. I can't help it.
Now it's creepy because you've taken a tooth. Now it's not what it needs to be. Before
I got that
it
sweet
was,
tooth. So yeah, actually not bad. Had a pretty good time. Glad we got this movie to really
Glad
kick
we
off.
got this
kick
movie.
off fall. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Brian on this one. I listen.
You guys are out of your mind.
There's so much about this movie that, and I think you would agree with this, isn't good.
100%.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Yeah.
But there is a whole lot about this movie that makes me forget about the fact that it's not good. Greenville, you mentioned it, and I don't care if it's not Greenville, South Carolina. It just made me feel happy. A good old-fashioned fall fest with different contests. I love it. And the apple pie, but I got to be honest, both apple pies looked good. I know the first one wasn't good, but that looked good.
Yeah.
And
Good enough, you know?
You know, listen,
For a
the
fall
the fall of this movie, absolutely, Dan. You said it, and I know you said it sarcastically, but it did save this movie for me. The fall worked. This movie's ridiculous, and it's definitely like a hey. You remember when Schitt's Creek was a big deal? It's a family show. Remember when Schitt's Creek was a big deal? Let's do that. It'll be funny. And
But
that's kind of like that is the part of this movie that worked the least for me. Like this whole like she lost everything. She loses everything and ends up
Getting it back in 60 minutes.
She does that, but she loses everything and then gets to Birdie's house in I think 10 minutes tops.
Oh, yeah.
So like all of the like how do I do this, which is really fun.
Yeah.
They didn't spend enough time with that. I think they could have spent a little bit more time on that, but they didn't spend enough time on it. So it just like I kind of forgot about it by the time she gets all the money back. I'm like, oh yeah, that was the whole reason she was here.
Right.
So I don't think you really needed it. They didn't do enough with the fish out of water to make it like to make it worth that being the plot point. This could have just been oh my gosh, I just inherited Birdie's house. That could have just been it. But so the Heiress stuff, whatever. But as far as lead goes to town and Harrod's house, falls in love with guy in small town, does small town fall stuff. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I understand there's a lot about this movie that isn't good, but
A lot of air quotes in this
I'll also
episode.
A lot of air
so
quotes.
far.
Yeah.
but it also isn't fall. So I think it's all the way. It all
Next-
comes out as a wash.
Your cases in Mystery Lane, there's an air quotes
yeah.
guy. We
Dano?
didn't save it for them. We're doing it now.
Yeah,
Say
let's
we're
get
doing
it
it
out of
now.
the way now.
Both of these guys are full of shoot. That's what I'm saying. But,
Come on.
both of them. First of all, just on the record, this movie not nearly as good as His and Hers we watched last week, correct? You would not say this is a better movie than His and Hers.
Different movie. It's really hard.
Yeah, but the whole
It's
point
like
is
apple
I'm asking.
and blueberry pie. It's
Great,
like you
awesome.
cannot-
Pick one.
No,
For
his and,
what?
his
His and Hers
is
is a better movie.
His and Hers is one of my favorites of the year.
Yeah, Bri.
Yeah, obviously the quality.
Okay.
It's
I'm just
different,
making
but
sure.
different times.
Because
This
sometimes
is a fall movie. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
different.
Yeah,
Sometimes we get
exactly.
in the weeds trying to polish up a turd around here, and we lose sight
No, we're
of
not
just some
doing that.
basic bad movie math. We have a wig that they spared all expense on. We have a situation that could have been solved by one professional realizing there was Apple stock in play. We
Yeah.
have a movie that is fall, yes, but aside from that,
Round of applause for Fall.
that's right.
And it's not even fall, so it's
It-
crazy.
Yeah, that's
Some
right.
people
I
say.
can't believe they pulled it off with the equipment that they had. I feel bad for Jodie Sweetin. I don't feel bad for Corey Sevier because I do think he looks for these movies. I feel like Corey Sevier lives in Canada, lives a great life, and he's like, "You want me to be in your movie? Film it up here, and I'll be in it. I got my blanket hat. I'm ready to go." So like, I don't feel like Corey Sevier's here for it. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at him. I'm happy for him. Do what you love what you do.
Yeah.
This movie, I did not love what I was doing and wanted to do something else real bad, and Fall didn't save it. Jodie Sweetin didn't save it.
Oh.
Corey Sevier didn't save it. Nothing saved it. It was not a great movie or a great time.
Well, you notoriously don't have a sweet tooth, so
That's true.
just-
No, I don't
it's
have.
like-
I like Jodie Sweetin. I really do.
don't have a sweet
This is
tooth.
not the movie for anyone.
He doesn't have a sweet tooth.
Yeah, that's
though.
right. That's right.
It's time for all the feels where we talk about what in this movie gives feels. Brian,
Yeah, it was obviously all the baking. I've
Not
never,
enough.
No,
Not enough
I could use
baking.
more. I've never made a pie, like a pie crust from scratch, a pie start to finish. This got me real close.
Inspired.
Yeah.
You know, your first year here, you'd have pulled a pie out from under the table.
I know that. I thought about doing that.
You would
obviously,
have.
but
Am I wrong?
You've
Am I wrong?
changed.
here?
I
You've
have.
changed.
I have.
The
You've
first,
changed.
the first 6 months Bri was here,
Oh,
he would have
man.
been like, "Oh, what's that
Check
behind
under
this
your
cabinet
chair,
over
yeah.
here? It's a
It was,
pie."
probably still would have been warm too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Would've
yeah.
got up early.
Now
That's
he's
there.
just here
There's
saying,
no pie.
there's no pie.
he wishes there was more time in the
I thought
kitchen.
this was a whole setup.
No,
I thought
I
you guys
wish.
had worked
Oh,
on it.
man. I wish. I thought about it, obviously.
I would've ate it on you.
And just
Thank
like
you,
Bran,
man. Appreciate that.
and just like Bran wishing us happy
Yep.
September, it's the thought that counts. You
I
thought
was
about
thinking
it, and I
about
think
it,
that's
and
what
I
it- that's
figured
what
that was
matters.
enough for
Yes.
this situation.
Yes.
So, really, I'm feeling like a step closer to making a pie.
You're a
from
step
scratch.
closer, and I
So,
think that's what matters.
because of this
I don't
movie.
like apple pie. If that helps you any,
Really?
So, yeah,
Okay.
doesn't do anything for me.
I actually haven't. For a long time, I didn't like pie, but I've come to like pie, and I really like an apple crisp, which is basically a
Yeah.
pie without the
Yep.
the crust.
Yep.
And the crust is great. So I
Yeah.
think I would be all about apple pie. I'm going to try one this year. If you make it,
You'll try it.
I'll try it.
Wow. Great
Maybe we
incentive
should. Maybe
there.
we should make it at the marathon.
make a pie
Make an apple pie at the marathon.
for
what
our,
better time?
for our dinner.
Yeah,
For
what
Saturday?
better
Yeah,
time?
that's
when
true.
it's fall
That's
/
true.
Christmas.
What
Yeah.
better time to make an apple pie than at the
Yeah.
marathon? There's
There's
literally
no
not
nothing
better
you've
time.
never used to bake.
Nothing
Yeah.
but time. I love that idea. How many pies should we make?
So many,
Oh, I don't know.
so many freaking pies.
That was
I'll
my
try my hand at it. I'm a
Really?
Ooh, look at all of us getting in the kitchen.
There's rumors, everybody, of a cookie decorating contest by all the hosts.
Did you
I
start
will
those?
lose that. I can promise you that.
I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what Dan. You say, but you're typically better at things than you give yourself.
Can I tell you this? If I had to bake, I've only baked something twice in my life. Both times it turned out, and doing that was a lot of work, but I enjoyed the challenge of it.
Yeah, you love a challenge.
I would be down for a baking challenge of some
Oh,
sort.
what about
But
you guys have to?
decorating? I'm so bad
I'm
at
the same
it.
here,
I'll do
but
it.
a
I've got no
baking
problem doing it. But
challenge.
I'm
I
gonna
like
go.
an apple pie bake off.
I've literally never baked one in my life, but I'm
Same here.
An
We're all on the
apple-
same page.
An
Yeah,
apple
you gotta learn
pie
it more time in
bake
the
off where we
kitchen
have to
baking
blind taste it and give our thoughts.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
like that a
man.
lot. I like that a whole lot.
Do we
love
have
that.
time for it? Who knows?
We have nothing,
Nothing
but
but
time.
time,
Nothing but time.
Want-
Cakes.
Nothing but cake. So this movie again, it's so simple. Just give, and we've been talking about it since 2018. Just give me a fall fest of any sort, and they did. There were what? Dan?
I just think the bar has gotten so low for fall because Hallmark has do you remember Roadhouse Romance?
Yes.
I just watched this again.
A movie that we all, even you were like, man, that movie, fall is throwing up on the screen compared to this movie. And it's just like, Hallmark doesn't care about that anymore. So much so that you get a little hit of fall.
Yes.
In a lot of this movie, the trees are still green in a lot of this movie.
Yep.
But you guys got enough of a hit of a fall because of a fall fair. That's how low we stooped.
It's a fall,
which is crazy.
I just think that I don't know what's wrong, but Hallmark, if you do fall like you do Christmas, it fall's the new Christmas.
Fall's the new Christmas.
People go nuts at fall. They love the pumpkin spice. They love the cinnamon
do.
brooms. They
Yeah,
love the
man.
leaves. They love all of that.
right.
It's so prime for a season where it's all about you just throw fall up all over the place. And this movie didn't even have a ton of fall, but it had enough to make me go, "Dadgummit, it's fall." And I started tasting the
Dadgummit, it's
pumpkin
fall.
spice in my mouth. And so it's ripe for the taking. So just go for it. Go all in on fall from post. I say from post Christmas in July to Christmas. Just make it fall. We don't need
the summer
summer
movies.
into love. Just go all in on fall, just like you go all in on Christmas. And I think we'll
Or
have
if you
ourselves
have
good
a
time.
movie like His and Hers, put it out on August 5th or whatever. Put a few of those out, August 5th, August 12th, whatever you got to do. And then in late August, even though I obviously will tell you it's still summer, you're not wrong. If they would go all in on fall, that would make more sense than what they're doing, which is have these two knuckleheads rave about the fall in a movie that 4 years ago wouldn't have even blipped on the Panda radar for fall.
You're exactly
It
right.
wouldn't have.
You're right.
Yeah.
And listen, but you walk into stores right now,
Oh, yeah.
you can't take a step without being hit in the face with a cinnamon broom. And you're like, give it to me, hit me harder.
Yeah.
That's where that's where I'm
We
at.
can just cut that, flip it right up. That'd
That's
be great.
where I'm
He's
at.
an easy boy.
I am an
You
easy
are.
boy. I'm an easy boy, and
we call you
we
Nietzsche
all
or
you-
Nilch.
one of the things we've talked about all this
easiest
time
We don't call him Friedrich Nietzsche.
is I would say give me
Fall is dead.
give me a bad
Philosophy
Christmas
joke.
give me a bad Christmas movie over a good whatever movie any day of the week. And I think fall is close.
Yeah.
With those vibes. A lot is saved by some fall, and I just want more of it. That's all I'm saying. Dano?
Yeah, I really didn't have any feels in this movie.
Okay.
Back to you, Brandon.
Gonna take a quick break. We're gonna
Hallmark.
come back. We're gonna get to the Wait What and the What the Hallmark here on
Deck the Hallmark.
Happy September. Welcome back, everybody. It is great to be back here on this Tuesday where we're talking Heiress and the Handyman. Let's talk about those wait whats, like that
Heiress
intro
and the
I just
Handyman,
did.
I believe is what you're going for.
That's exactly right.
Heiress and the Handyman.
And Handyman. The Handyman can. I don't know if you
Yeah,
know about
yeah,
that,
yeah,
but he can. Let's get to the wait what's. So we're talking about what in this movie gave us wait what's. Brian.
Yeah. You kind of nailed one of mine in your
Okay.
synopsis where
Sure.
you said that we weren't getting enough of the fish out of water time with her kind of flailing around. And that was a big thing for me. I felt like she just jumped right into this role really without any issues at all. Like she had to redo one pie. Other than that, like she just did everything great. And
it's so quick. I didn't mean to
Yeah,
interrupt you.
no,
It's
yeah.
so quick when she's like, I'm poor. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's a safety deposit box. I have a house. Oh my gosh. Here I am. Make one pay.
Yeah.
All of that is
Yeah.
like,
Oh, here's
it
the
makes
list
you
of
think
chores.
that the movie's over when it's not over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of that happened really fast without any problems. And so I was sort of struggling with like, what am I having a tough time with? And
What
it
am I
wasn't.
gonna do?
She was like so grounded and reflective. Like she didn't struggle a lot. And we just kind of skipped past that. And that was sort of like, yeah, we could have spent a little more time with that. Unfortunately, I do have some questions about the crypto crash.
A little bit.
I just,
A little bit.
I assume I kind of worked it out in my head that she inherited a fortune. She put it all into like either a platform or a currency, and that some problem, those things are problematic, and then it all went away.
But that doesn't.
How
to your
ridiculous
point-
is that?
But
Yeah.
that doesn't make you lose all your assets. You would lose the money that you
Right.
put into the
Correct.
crypto.
Your house,
but
right.
in Schutt's Creek, they owed a bunch of money.
That's right.
Which is why they had all their assets seized. And this is just a crypto crash. Which
Yeah.
also, I mean, we've all been a part of
if
this.
it's-
Yeah, we've been
we've all been there. But I
around
mean,
the outskirts
if
of
we're
that.
talking about someone that's just in Greece and then goes to the Hamptons, she's 100 millionaire, if not a billionaire. Like that's what she is.
Yep.
If she's in Greece and she goes to the Hamptons for a season
Yep.
and has houses
Yeah.
all over the world, probably billionaire,
Yeah.
if not 100 millionaire.
100 millionaire,
So
for
how
sure.
much of her money did she lose?
Right.
90% of it. So that
still-
means she had 900 million in cryptocurrency. That by itself is keeping the currency afloat.
Yeah.
Like if you had $900 million
like,
in Doge,
Right.
we'd
Wait
all
it out.
be rich
Wait it
right
out.
now.
Like,
So
yeah.
that's why I thought it was a platform type. Like
Yes.
it wasn't actual coinage. It was like she's
Coinage.
like, we're gonna start a new platform, and it just didn't happen.
So you think it's like a Freed or whatever that
Exactly.
guy
Exactly.
with
So I feel like
She
got
started
some-
her own thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I think. She
Okay.
was like
that would
somebody,
make more sense.
Yeah.
I mean, what's his name went to jail for that. So
That's
like
right.
if he was,
Yes.
if she was unknowingly,
Yeah.
But still
not
the
only,
assets thing.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
should have some. Like that was my other big one. Was she has a business manager, Michael, and so he's the villain here because this
Yeah.
whole time he should be protecting her.
But you would never know business manager of a billionaire is like, you know what you should do?
Yeah.
Hear me out. Put it all in one thing.
Exactly.
I don't care if it's the surest thing in the world.
Yeah.
You don't put all of your money
No.
in one
No.
thing.
No, it's
Brian doesn't have $1
ridiculous.
billion and he's over here twitching at the idea
Dude.
that you put all your investments into one thing.
Man,
That's
it's
crazy.
The dumbest. The guy should be in jail because
Yeah.
it was obviously fraud. Like he must have known the guy. He was in cahoots.
Insider trading.
Yeah, something's
Yeah.
going on where
Sell.
he seems to be doing fine somehow, and she's lost her money. So something is up with this guy, and also all the discovering the stock. This drove me
Oh my
absolutely
gosh.
insane.
Oh, just turns out we got some
hey,
Apple
look,
stocks.
So first, like, how did you not know about this before? You're fired immediately. Terrible job. The second, he's like, we found this stock. I've sent you some of the money or all whatever it was. He sent her money. Like, did he front her the money?
Yeah.
Did he cash out the stock without her telling him to? Like, how is he getting her money if it's stock? It's not liquid. Like, it's not cash. All of a sudden, she's got all this cash. Like, where's this
Yeah.
coming from? This guy has got to go to jail.
Yes.
This guy's a bad business
Yes.
manager. And she's got to be on top of it, first of all. But this guy is leading her way down the wrong places.
way down the wrong place.
way down
We've
the
said
wrong-
it
Way
for
down the
years.
wrong places.
You don't wanna go
And
there.
that's,
The wrong
that's putting it
places.
nicely.
You don't want to go
So-
there.
Good for you. Keep it clean.
I think at the contest, there was one lady judging every different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we
different
can talk about that.
department.
Sure. Yeah.
that
The
was
judge
just-
of the fall fair
Yeah.
is judging the vegetables,
Yeah.
the livestock,
Yep,
and the apple
flowers
pie.
and the pie.
That's right. She's doing it all.
She knows it all,
One
man.
judge to rule them all. She is not, literally makes no sense. How
Again.
could you be an expert
Again,
on
But
all
also,
this?
Yeah.
and to that point, I don't know if you noticed this, but the announcing of the winners was so weird.
So
It
weird.
was.
Because there's like this voice, we
Yeah.
don't get doesn't
Voice
matter.
of God, yeah.
The person who's announcing the winners isn't on stage; he's somewhere else. And so he announces all the winners except for the pies, because I guess she's an expert in pies, so she's
Obviously,
going to announce
she-
it.
yeah.
But if she's only an expert in pies, why is she
Doing
voting on
everything-
all the other
Yeah,
things?
It makes no sense at all.
But also, and I want to be very clear on this, she's judging all of Jodie Sweetin's things at once.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
one
she
back to-
goes
right.
through and she's like,
Yep.
carrots look great. Here's the pie. Here's the pig. She's not doing all of the
Yeah.
the fruits and
Pig
vegetables
side by side,
and
root
then all the
vegetables.
livestock like a
No.
normal judge would do.
Not
She's
in
like,
that Greenville.
let me do all of this person's things. That's like she's trying her best to be biased.
Yeah.
Like if you like that would not be how to do that at all.
But then also the announcer, when they get to the pig, is like the judges don't even have to deliberate on this one.
No.
So there's more than
I don't
sounds
think
like
so.
it, but-
I think there's just
But
her.
also, I hope that they do deliberate. And hopefully they
Yeah.
deliberate before now
Right,
when they're
right.
announcing the winners.
Yeah.
We'll wait for them to finish deliberating.
Yeah, let
before.
them
I
talk
know that's
about
why
it.
we're all here. We thought that you thought that they had already done that.
we
but
can't show you
we're
any of the other
doing it.
judges because then they would be biased.
I'd like to
Yes,
get a look
that's
at that scorecard. The last one I had was with Larry Elpin from Elpin.
Honk, honk. Oh, no.
Elpin Farm
Oh, my
Equipment.
bad.
Different Larry.
Little Larry, oh.
He calls her and he says about her pig. he wants to sign the pig as the company mascot and says, that's an animal I can get behind. And I just questioned, a little worried about Larry's intentions, and that's all for me.
What do you mean?
It's just he's really psyched about that pig. He's just like, I don't know. I don't know what he's planning to do here. Just put the pig on like the ads?
Do you think he's
on
into
a
the
tractor?
pig? What
Dude,
are you getting at?
I don't know. I don't know his intentions. That's all.
His intentions are he's sponsoring the pig.
A big time farm equipment guy calling about a little town contest winner. What's up with that? It's a little suspicious, is all. Like you're gonna go for the big time winner, not the little town.
What are you? I don't.
Winner. That's
What
all.
else? Like what else would he? Aside from just wanting to sponsor the pig, who's now viral.
I don't know, man. What
just
if
keep it
what if he
moving.
takes that pig and sends it right down the street to the slaughterhouse?
Why would he do that?
Exactly. I don't know. I don't know Larry Elpin. I don't know what he's up to. I don't know
But this happens with with people all the time. They go viral.
Yeah.
And then people, are like, let me sponsor it. That's like
So you think
pig,
maybe
he's
he's
a
on
pig
top?
influencer.
Oh, okay.
He's a pig
All right, then
influencer.
maybe I'll scratch that one off the list.
Scratch it. The guy at the airports that like has the luggage or whatever, has scissors as a necklace, which he does use. He does utilize these scissors to cut her credit cards, but like if he wears these all the time, that you can't do that. That's an accident waiting to happen. They say don't run with scissors. I would say that's actually preferable to wearing them around your neck all willy-nilly. It's going to be swing. That could hit a child. But listen, this is a bad idea. You should not have scissors around your neck. You just shouldn't. Or you shouldn't, right?
Yeah,
Am I crazy?
If they're real scissors
He
that
cut
actually
him. He
work,
cut a credit card.
then you should not have scissors around your neck, in my personal opinion.
Thank you,
Yes.
Dan. Thank
Yeah.
you.
They say you shouldn't run with scissors. That's
Kinda
what
on
they're
the
saying
That's
about
what street. That's what
That's what they're saying.
Weird
Many
Al.
are saying,
Weird Al said
not
it.
us. Many are saying. No, he ran with them.
He did.
Yeah, Weird Al would be the worst example to use there.
He did run with him, and now look at him. She wakes up in her car, gets a knock at the window, rolls it right down. The electric windows, which does lead me to believe that she did sleep with her car on in order to be able to roll it down without turning the car on. So that seems also problematic, but whatever. What's his name? Bart. Bart's sister says if you need a construction license or a food truck permit, you come to me. And I don't know necessarily how those two things are.
Can I tell you this?
But go ahead.
That's how I knew it wasn't Greenville, South Carolina.
No, yeah.
Because the city of Greenville and their permits aren't messing around. And this woman is just like, just come to me and I'll get you a quick permit.
Yeah.
If you're in the city of Greenville, you know what I'm talking about. It is a whole thing. The city of Greenville is so efficient. DMV, crazy efficient. One of the best DMVs in the world. I'm serious. You need a permit for something, 6 weeks. It's insane.
Yeah.
That's how I knew. That's how I knew it wasn't us.
She goes up to him at one point, and this isn't like, man, I can't believe this happened. It's more like I saw the scene and I just like chuckled and I was like, what? Why? She walks in and he pulls a carrot out of the dirt,
Yeah, sure does.
And with a straight face, she just goes, wow, those are big carrots. And I just I can't believe, she was so earnest and really went for it with that line, so much so that it just went, appreciate the craft. Some people might have been like, maybe let's not make such a big deal about the carrots. And she said, no, I'm going to make such a big deal about these carrots, and I'm going to go all in on this line read, and I loved it. The one judge that we do know about apparently designed the cages that the chickens have to be in. Okay. What is with the...
Seems like, yes.
You can't do it all, lady. And apparently she has. And that's all I got. Dana?
Yeah, at the beginning of this movie, Butler brings her a phone in Greece, opens it up like it's on a food tray, and it's a red phone, like the bat phone in the old Batman movies. It's an old corded phone. It is connected to nothing. Nothing. It isn't connected to anything. You can't possibly make a phone call
That's how you know
on
you're
that
rich.
phone. You can't make one.
It's a cell phone
That's
that
right.
looks like
like
it.
it, right.
That's
Which
how
could
rich
be.
you are.
Also, little thing here, but on behalf of cosmetologists and barbers around the world, there's a montage in this movie where she briefly tries to become a cosmetologist, someone that cuts hair. My barber told me he had to have close to 2,000 hours of apprenticeship, or you have to go to 1,500 hours of a barber school.
Yeah.
They do it as a bit where Jodie Sweetin overnight gets a job cutting hair, and that's crazy. That's a crazy thing to do, even for this movie. But not as crazy as YouTubing how to make a sandwich. She YouTubes, how do I make a sandwich? Like, since the Earl of Sandwich invented sandwiches, I don't think anyone has had to look up bread inside of bread before. I don't think anybody's. Now, she might later on have to look up a specific kind of sandwich, like but she's not having to look up. She knows what a sandwich is, right?
Yeah. Anybody who has seen a sandwich knows what a sandwich is.
Yeah.
Once you see one, it's one of those things kind of like hot dog. You know, you
Yes.
see it and you go, dog, bun, hot
You
hot
would
dog.
not be like, how do I make hamburger? You would not
wouldn't
do
know.
that.
Yeah.
Just from eating. She's eaten.
I
She's
know.
never made a sandwich. She's eaten a
You have
sandwich
two
before.
breads and you have
You
the
have stuff in
things,
between the breads.
and there you go.
Pretty straightforward. And then that's the only reason the next one isn't the biggest wait what of the year, where she didn't read the back of the recipe card.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah.
It's a handwritten recipe.
Yep.
You should have probably at some point you
just give
picked
it
it
a-
up. Yeah. I mean, the fact that she had to YouTube sandwiches gives a little bit of a pass there.
Yeah.
That's it. There's a scene in this movie where it's supposed to be pouring down rain. I'm talking, they establish with a wide shot that it's pouring down rain. Then Jodie Sweetin and Corey Sevier have a full conversation, not a dropper. You hear the raindrops. You hear them.
Yeah.
But there's no rain on them or falling on them. It's crazy. It's a crazy scene. And then lastly, once you're a billionaire, you can choose wherever you want to live. That's the way I understand it. I'm not a billionaire, but she comes into all this money and wants to travel the world. And then they make her make this weird choice where she can either live in the small town of Greenville or travel the world. And I'm here to tell you, if you're a billionaire, one of the perks of being stupid wealthy is you get to do kind of whatever you want, including living in a small town and traveling the world. It is fundamentally not a choice she has
Is
to make.
Bart saying that he never
Yeah.
wants to travel? Like,
This
even for
guy-
a vacation?
Like, yeah. Like, if
I never
we talk
wanna
about this all, if I won the lottery, I wouldn't move, but I'd travel a lot. Like, I don't understand. You can do both of these things. Does Greenville, is that the one small town that has a no billionaires allowed rule where they don't want the money flooding their economy? Get out of here.
Maybe. There's taxes
ridiculous.
there. You don't know.
Yeah, you don't
You
know.
don't
You
know.
don't know
Yeah.
what the tax situation is.
Ridiculous.
It's time for What the Hallmarks, where we wonder what could have been. Maybe have give some clarity. Any questions that we still have. Brian, what are you still wondering about that you'd like some answers to?
Yeah, there was a couple of times, at least 2 times, when she looked at her phone and there were all these emojis going crazy on it.
Yeah.
And what was that? Like, was
What
that?
was it? It's a great
Was she
question.
getting texts?
I think that's what it
What was that?
or like social media. Like, what?
Are those her
We're
friends?
Yeah.
going back to hieroglyphics.
What
We
is
only speak in
going
pictures
on
now.
with
Yeah.
these-
The confusing thing was there was no name or
Nothing.
platform attached.
Where is
it's
that coming
just
from?
message. Like,
Yes. So
is it
really,
my phone that's like listening in
Yeah.
and giving me thoughts?
It must be at her level of
Yeah.
the money she has. Like,
no one
that's
has
what
names.
happens.
No one
Right.
has names.
That's right.
Yeah, you just kind of. Dan, you mentioned the bad wig.
That's
this
mine
movie.
too. Go ahead.
Okay, so did you notice that it seemed like Jodie Sweetin? You're a sweet tooth, so you might not have noticed, but that in certain scenes it seemed like she had a wig
She
on.
was clearly wearing a
but
wig.
that the wig was just what we know as Jodie Sweetin's hair.
Yeah, it was just
It was-
like poofed.
Yeah, it was
bigger.
it was sitting really high
Yeah.
up,
It-
especially
but-
on the back of her head. It
Yeah.
was sitting way up here.
I just don't know like why.
Yeah.
Like why? Because it wasn't like when CCB would do Aurora Teagard and it would wear a red wig.
yeah, we
you know?
get it. You don't want to
Like,
dye your hair
yeah.
red. We get it.
This was just Jodie Sweetin's like hair,
Yeah, I think
but like
I
a
think
dot,
the-
but with a not her hair.
I think the reason is she's an heiress. We want to make her like super duper bougie, but
and they just
I
didn't
don't
want to
know
spend the
hair.
time
I
like
don't-
doing her hair.
But Jodie Sweetin has the hair to do this. We've seen her in Jane Mysteries. Like, she has the hair to just pull this off. Why in the world are they putting a really bad wig on her? I don't. What a choice. I would love to hear Jody's take on it. Like, I really would. I'd like, the choice was mind-boggling to me on the wig.
I mean, if the reasoning was we wanted to do like big things with her hair to make it seem like she has a lot of money, and we didn't have the time for her to sit in the chair. I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning would have been for doing it. It's
Yeah. I didn't get it.
I don't know. I don't know everything about anything. So
Yeah, we know.
all right,
I don't
it's
know
time.
everything about it. No one does, I would say.
It's time for Double Decker of the Week. It's where we dive deep into the life.
That's not canceled yet, huh?
No.
Wow.
It's time for the life.
Any day now.
Diving deep into the life of a double decker that signs up for the Bramble Jam at BrambleJamPlus.com at double decker tier or higher. Dan, who do we have today?
We have Lori Pridemore.
Lori Pridemore. Brian,
today.
every week you dive deep into one of these double deckers and you spill all the tea.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
tell us something about them that they're doing, working on, whatever. What do we know about Lori?
Lori, one thing about Lori is she hates getting a cold. And it is cold.
I think
in
we all do.
Flu season. Yeah, but
If
yeah,
somebody
I just
was
got
like,
over
yeah,
a
give me
cold.
cold.
You just got over
we're
a
just
cold.
getting over one. I got hit real hard. I wish I did what Lori has been doing here. She's a big fan also of acupuncture. I don't know if
Okay.
you guys are into the little needles.
I'm not, but I know it's a thing.
Yeah.
I've never done that either. But Lori has this. I guess it's sort of a business. She's
Sort of a business.
She's getting going here, where it's like a next level, another take on acupuncture, and it really targets the cold and flu symptoms. And so if you want to prevent or you're dealing with them, Lori's got a next level type of acupuncture.
All right. How does it work?
It's like,
What's it called?
it's called Final Nail in the Coffin. And what she's doing is just
This is good.
This is
good.
This
is good
isn't like
stuff.
your regular, like run-of-the-mill needle acupuncture. This is like
Why is
kinda-
it final nail in the coffin? Can it
Nails?
just be
It's
nail
like
in the
thicker.
coffin?
Are they
little-
nails?
almost borderline nail.
They jam
Like,
it right
they're-
up the
they're-
old nostril.
Just wherever. I don't know all the places. There are a lot of weird places.
There's a lot of you right over here, some sinuses, or
You
by
get
your temple.
Some people with like armpits.
here.
and
People
real
are
weird
asking her to
stuff.
put a nail in their temple.
They're just a jab. There's a tiny little jab in there, and so it's pretty early on,
And it works, is
Lori's guaranteeing.
She guarantees
yeah.
it.
Is the reason it's final nail in the coffin because it kills you?
That's an excellent question. No, that hasn't actually happened quite yet.
Quite yet.
But
They're hoping?
I think that what I saw, Lori feels like in the papers that aren't released, this would cover her in the event of.
So it's definitely possible.
Yeah, it seems like it's possible. And so, I mean, if it gets rid of your cold symptoms, great.
Yeah.
If it kills you, it's kind of in the name.
Dan, if you had a really bad cold, would you go take a nail to the head?
If I had heard of something like this and had any sort of evidence that it worked, I would try. I hate a cold.
it's the worst.
I hate a cold. I am like, when it comes to medicine, I'm like, let me go to a doctor with actual science. When it comes to colds, I'll try any of your homeopathic, any sort of nootropic, adaptogen, put on a thing with a bunch of lavender in it. I don't care.
absolutely.
Whatever you think works, I will try it. So if I thought I wasn't going to die, I'd give it a shot.
Yeah, yeah. So
People
I think
are
she's onto
desperate
something.
during
They
cold
are.
Yeah.
season. You know, we've been tricked into pouring water, neti potting her, like looking
That
like
actually
complete.
works.
I know,
That's
but
science. That
looking
works.
like complete doofuses. It's like just do this and do that, it'll come out, and it's good,
It's
and
good
it works.
stuff. It does.
I don't.
Because that's not right out of there.
It gets it right out of there. It's amazing. How about that? Well, thanks for that. And
Yeah,
Lori,
absolutely.
congratulations on
Nail in
your.
the coffin.
Hopefully,
Really
no
good.
one does die, but again, it hasn't quite happened quite
feeling
yet.
Until it
covered.
happens, you can say no one's died.
No one's died. That's exactly right.
right.
That's the sign of a good business. No one's died doing this either. Yet.
Yet,
Aside from
Lord willing.
Panda recipe, obviously.
Obviously,
yeah.
rest in peace. But that could have been old age.
That was
it's hard
definitely
to
old
say
age.
Yeah, it was-
for
it
sure.
was
Still
definitely
waiting on
old
the
age.
autopsy.
Yeah.
Still. We're going to come back tomorrow with another movie entitled
Curious cases of Mystery Lane.
Mystery Lane.
The death sentence.
the
Final
Death Star.
death. Dead listening. Listen on
Here on
Listen dead.
Deck the Hallmark.
Dead.
Deck the
You're
Hallmark is
dead
a
if you
Bramble Jam
listen.
podcast. It's
Dead
produced
listening.
by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to BrambleJamPlus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.